Ladies and gentlemen, it is confirmed Donald Trump is your 47th president of the United States of America. 277 electoral votes after taking Pennsylvania and your other swing states besides Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska and Michigan, which are still uncalled. In fact, apparently it means good things. Tesla stock is up 13.35% in overnight trading at the time of recording this video, as betting odds are now putting Trump's win at over 95%, which it's pretty well assumed that Trump at this point is going to win, following the news that is just out that Trump has won Pennsylvania. Now, who cares what political spectrum you're on? It's about 50-50. Okay, some of you guys are Kamala, some of you guys are Trump. If you are here watching this video, you are money. You're team money. That's all that matters. Okay, so let's talk about your money. There are some big things. Okay, there is a problem though. It does look like the House and the Senate are likely to go Republican, as well as the presidency. That is a Republican sweep. That is one of the issues that markets have had with this election is, do we get a sweep in one direction or the other? Or Trump, this Trump trade has been crazy in markets recently. And the Trump trade, for anyone that does not know, is Treasury yields going higher. Banks have went higher. Some different areas of our markets have done well. Not all of them, but some of them. So there's going to be areas of our markets that perform better than others. Tesla, as most of you guys are all in Tesla or a large chunk of your portfolio, Tesla is clearly going to benefit from this via the relationship between Elon and Trump. Now, let's be honest, I don't think this 12% gain now, it's going to be volatile. It's after Pennsylvania, it's a done deal, okay, for the election. I don't necessarily think this 12% gain is going to hold up, because that's a lot of good being priced in a very short amount of time. But I do expect that we will have a very good next couple of days for markets. In terms of Tesla, that's true, as well as the broader markets. There was almost a consensus view on Wall Street that we were not going to have the results of the election tonight. That we were going to have a contested election, that we were not going to know the results of the election for days, weeks, maybe months. There was a lot of fear about this. And as I've said here on this channel many times before, I'm not going to steer you in the wrong direction. There was a chance of that happening. But I've always been under the view that we were going to know who the president was heading into Wednesday's trading day. And indeed, we now know who that is. This does a couple things for markets. Number one, it allows people to take off some of those hedges. Those risk on hedges can now be taken off. It's hard to calculate exactly what's going on a day-to-day basis in markets. You've seen bond yields acting very irrational in recent days. But you can now take some of those risk-off hedges off. Now, 10-year Treasury yields at the time of recording this video, yikes, are up 12 basis points, 12.5 basis points to be more exact, up 4.41%. We could get into the longer-term Trump trade if you want to. I think it's going to take some time to play out, though. 10-year Treasury yields are going to be proven wrong. And I don't think this 12 basis point jump is going to last over the coming days. I think you are well overdue for a drop in 10-year Treasury yields. So bonds are kind of a different story, because bonds revolve around long-term inflation expectations, long-term government deficit expectations, and that's about it. Where the Fed will be able to roughly keep the federal funds rate over the next 10 years. That's obviously not my opinion. That's I think the bond Trump trade is wrong. In the short term, this could pressure markets a little bit because it obviously raises borrowing costs. It constricts the economy even more. It does put a pressure on small caps, but simply alleviating this uncertainty is likely going to be a great thing for markets. You can see the VIX heading into this election was at 20.49. You did fall about 7% in trading on Tuesday, but you were still elevated heading into this election, which means there was a lot of puts on our markets. Now, the VIX measures puts and calls. It doesn't necessarily measure the amount of shares that were also sold short, the amount of shorting activity that we've seen out there in the marketplace. So odds are you are setting up for a massive short squeeze over the next couple of days. And I think that's part of what's happening with Tesla, just given how sensitive Tesla is to this election with the relationship between Elon Musk and Trump. Elon is watching the election results with Trump. Like, he's right there, basically hand in hand with Trump. And as you guys know, from the perspective of being an investor in markets, the worst thing, I say this all the time. If you guys have watched this channel for longer than a couple of weeks, maybe even a week, you've heard me say this before. The markets hate bad news. Like, bad news is bad news. But the markets hate uncertainty more than they hate bad news. And there was a lot of uncertainties heading into this. Contested election, a sweep in either direction or the other. Like, these are uncertainties. But even if you get bad news, it's better than uncertainty, okay? Trump winning is obviously good for different sectors. It's good for banking. It's good for business, lowering the corporate tax rate. Inflation, that's kind of part of the Trump trade. Investors think there's going to be more inflation under Trump, and that's why bond yields are rising. But net, you are reducing uncertainty. And that's why markets at the time of recording this video for the NASDAQ is up 1.4%, S&P up 1.34%, and the Dow is up 1.43%. Unfortunately, we don't have futures open for the Russell 2000, but I imagine based on these numbers, the Russell's probably up about 1.7 to 2% right now. You are also likely going to see oil fall a lot because Trump has promised to open up drilling and fracking more, especially in areas like Pennsylvania. And that's going to drive up oil supply and down oil prices. From that perspective, it looks clear. We are going to see likely a multi-day rally for markets. Now, yeah, there's a lot of enthusiasm right now. The dust will settle over the coming days, but markets will be higher now following a Trump win because no matter, again, what political spectrum you are on, Trump is good for business. Markets did very well under Trump, and there's more certainty on what you can expect. The only issue that I have here is it looks like we could get a Republican sweep. It looks like that's what we're going to get. And it's going to be easier for Republicans to pass policy, which part of why the markets have done so well over the past couple of years is all the deficit spending and basically free money handouts. Yeah, that's bad for the longevity of America's financial situation, but in the near term, that's very stimulative. If you guys don't know, we are spending money right now as if we are in a recession, as if we are in a 2008 kind of situation as far as deficits are concerned. So pulling back some of that spending, potentially with a Republican sweep, can be seen as a negative. In the near term, I think it's all about relieving this uncertainty, and it did appear as if markets were going to rally either way this election did go. And it's hard to exactly say what's going to happen with Tesla or with, the markets as a whole. Besides, we're likely going to go higher. Now, Tesla is up a lot at the time of recording this video, and honestly, it has a pathway to go much higher. As I said in previous videos, Tesla option buyers have been expecting this rally in Tesla stock. If we take a look at the option activity that I reported today, you had 141 different trades totaling $171.14 million with a positive order value of 57%. Not great, not terrible, but over the past couple of days, the past week, you've seen a positive order value of 63%, which is definitely a little bit better. Keep in mind, these are hedge fund institutions. These are big money investors. These are not retail investors that are making these trades. Retail tends to be like 80+% positive in Tesla, and you know, probably about double the number of dollars heading into Tesla options. You have 1,261 different trades totaling $1.07 billion, again, with a positive order value of 63%. So hedge funds and institutions have been positioning for this. And really, if you want to think about a proxy for the election, yes, Bitcoin, yes, financials with potentially more M&A activity, maybe biopharmas. Tesla is a more direct proxy of this election because of the relationship with Trump and Elon. I mean, Elon's went on stage with Trump like 5 times now in the course of the last month or so. There's a lot of direct relationship there and potentially good policies, good incentives that will help Tesla be more successful, or what seems more likely is help Tesla's competition not be as successful, right? With tariffs and other things that are going on, which Tesla is already in a position to benefit from that. So from that standpoint, I hope you are not short in Tesla. Trust me, I hope all of you guys make as much money as possible. I hope you come to this channel to walk away from these videos with more knowledge than you had when you started them. And yeah, this is one of those kind of bad situations if you are short in Tesla. If you have a negative interest in Tesla, you are not going to have a good couple of days. And it is confirmed Donald Trump will be the next president, as you are hearing it live on news networks. Donald Trump is going to take Alaska, even though it does not look like it is officially called. That is 3 electoral votes. All you need is 3 more to win the presidency. So it is confirmed that Donald Trump will be your 47th president, no matter if you love it, hate it, can't get enough of it, doesn't matter. He's now the guy. The big question is, do you care more about politics or do you care more about your money? That's the question I have for you. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you care about your money, then you want to pay very close attention to the videos coming out over the next couple of days, because there's going to be a lot of money moving around. There's going to be a lot of different areas that do well and do not do as well. And you can almost list them out. Biopharma and banks, again, Tesla, which I don't think green energy in and of itself is going to do well, but Tesla is definitely a standout there. Bitcoin and crypto and maybe some areas of healthcare. That area kind of depends. It's a very contested area with cracking down on drug prices, things of that nature. But there's going to be a lot of opportunities in the days and weeks to come from here. And I'll tell you right now, just alleviating the uncertainty around this event. This is the biggest event by far of this year. You're going higher. Tesla's going a lot higher. Do you want to be positioned now? Do you want to wait for some kind of pullback? It may never come. It depends on the economy. And there is other things besides the election. After a couple of days, markets will kind of chill out, reposition their portfolios. And I hate to use the word chill out because markets never chill out, but we will reposition our portfolios, get ready for a Trump administration. Potentially, it looks like at this point, a Republican sweep. And look ahead to the next event, which you do have the Fed this Thursday. They are going to cut rates. The question really is at that point, do we see 10-year Treasury yields fall? I initially expected 10-year Treasury yields would fall upon either Trump or Kamala winning the White House. Just alleviating that uncertainty, kind of like if you buy a stock heading into a major event, like Nvidia heading into their AI events. If the stock rallies into that event, the odds are tilted in your favor. It's going to fall after. Kind of vice versa with yields. If yields rally into an event in which you've been pricing in bond markets, and then you're more than likely going to sell off afterwards. That does not look like what is happening right now, but it does seem semi-likely still that you will see a sell-off in yields over the coming days, even though yields are up 12 basis points, which is a huge move. 14 basis points at the time of recording this video. If there's any area to be a little concerned with, it is the bond market, because the bond market seems to kind of be breaking in front of our eyes, which, I mean, we could go over this for like an hour long. The relationship between bonds and stocks, 60-40 portfolio. Technically, you should see stocks go up and bond prices fall, which means bond yields go up, stocks go up, bond prices fall, because there's an inverse relationship. When bond yields go up, bond prices fall. So this is actually like benefiting the 60-40 portfolio. This is how things are supposed to work, but that is a little concerning. So if I had a little bit of concern, it is with the rise in 10-year treasury yield. But baby, let's final check on Tesla. At the time of recording this video, Tesla stock is up 13% in overnight trading at $283.50 per share from where it was just earlier. 12 hours ago, it was a $250 stock. That is an over $30 gain in about 24 hours. So congratulations to those of you guys that held through the trauma, the drama, and the Trump re-election. You are going to be rewarded for it. That's just how it is. I'm sorry if you took the other political side. Forget it. Focus on your money at this point. That's the best advice I have for you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this video. You have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you in the next one.